ousted CDC director who was appointed by President Trump. She was asked to accept vaccine recommendations around the children's vaccine schedule that she didn't want to accept. And that schedule is something that affects every American and what they're able to do. Are you comfortable with the way that board has changed, considering what Ms. Menarez says?
Absolutely correct. I mean, I actually am. Here's what I know about business, and I'll take CDC as a business for just a second, because we all make decisions based on two things: the way we're raised and our life experiences. Business is my life. I know that you need a hire right, and you need a fire right, and everybody you hire isn't actually the right person. Sometimes you got to fire that person too. And if they're not, if they're not working with your direction that you're wanting to move, either in that organization or they were part of the organization before you got there, sometimes they just don't belong anymore. And when you have a failing business, if you take over a company, you have a failing business, not everybody's going to be successful that works there because it was failing for a reason. CDC has been failing. We know that by just looking at statistics of where we were in 1950 to where we are today with chronic illness alone, we know it's failing. So there has to be changes made. And what Secretary Kennedy is doing, and he is questioning science and he's bringing in change. We should be thankful that this administration is trying to change the healthiness of the American people. When we look at where we are today as far as being the sickest nation in the world, we have to make changes, and it's becoming a national security risk. Think about this. Only 8 out of 10 kids today aren't eligible to serve within DOD, meaning they're not qualified to even go through boot camp. So only 2 out of 10 kids can actually pass the exam.
Vaccines that are required to join the United States military?
I'm well aware of it. Well aware of it.
Yeah, of course you are. And I mean, look, in your home state of Oklahoma, tetanus, polio, MMR, Hep A, Hep B, chickenpox, kids have to have all of these to go to school. And if there are kids that don't get this regime, the other kids around them are more likely to get sick. No?
How many vaccines are we giving out today?
To our children?
Yeah, to our children.
Well, if you listen to...
all the way through before they go to school, college.
Well, I think that what RFK's answer would be is about 76, but the way that obscures, it's the number of shots for several of these
and what was required it in 1980?
Sir, I don't know, because I didn't vaccinate kids in 1980. I'm doing it now, so I know the vaccines now.
So let's just use your number of 76, and let's go back to just use another number of 7, because it was under 10.
And I would just like to clarify that 76 is misleading. It is used by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., but it counts up the number of times there are, say, 3 courses for MMR, right? You need 3 shots over years to get vaccinated for MMR. So when you count them all up, it's 76. But it's misleading because the number of diseases that you're vaccinating against is closer to 20.
Okay, well, let's just use, is it being effective? Because if we have 76%,
my kid has not had any.
But if we're looking at 76% of the population now has chronic illness, 1 out of every 10 kids today have autism. What is it? Are we healthier as a nation or are we not?
But why is that about vaccines?
We don't know if it's about vaccines. What we're saying is what Bobby's doing is questioning science.
But you're taking
used to it was okay.
You're
going to
risk
science.
Kids dying of measles.
We're not going to die. We're not taking the risk of measles. We're not anti.
More kids have died of measles in this country this year than in decades.
Well, if you want to get into that, we can talk about the open to southern border and what caused that. Because you had an inflation over 20 million people that came over illegally underneath the Biden administration that wasn't vaccinated. We're not talking about measles outbreaks from kids that were born and raised here inside the United States. We're talking about ones that were brought over here illegally. And you can make that connection. And no one can argue that.
Okay. Well, sir, I think we actually are probably out of time here, although there were a number of other things I'd like to ask you about. And I know you wanted to talk about one thing in particular, which is this backlog.
Sure, I'll go wherever you want to go.
Are you sure? Okay.
Whatever.
So they were very specific, but I must ask
Casey,
this question.
I'm on your time.
All right. Well, in that case, I want to say thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it. I hope you'll come back.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the back and forth always.
Yes.
All right. Coming up next year, the issue that prompted a rare public appearance by the First Lady today at the White House.